Hey there, it's Lily. Today I'm going to explain how to graph a cosine function. So my equation is y equals 4 cosine 1/4 x. During all this, I am going to refer back to the standard equation of y equals a cosine b of x minus c plus d. So in this equation, you can see a is going to determine the amplitude, b is the number of cycles between 0 and 2 pi, c determines a horizontal shift, and d determines a vertical shift. So first we have to find the amplitude, which is the change in height from the midline. So the amplitude is going to be absolute value of a. So as you can see in our equation, our a is 4. So our absolute value of 4 is 4. Highlight that real quick so you can refer back to that. Now we must find the period, which is the length of one cycle. To find the period, you must use the equation 2 pi over b. In our case, b is 1/4, so 2 pi over 1/4, which is going to be 2 pi times 4 over 1, which is ultimately 8 pi. So the period is 8 pi. Now we want to find the midline. So if you look back at our original equation, you can see that C and D are both 0, which means there's going to be no vertical or horizontal shift. So that means our midline is simply going to be along the x-axis. So the midline equals 0. From there, we can find our max value, and the max is the highest value on the graph. So to do that, max is going to be the midline plus the amplitude. So the max is 0 plus 4, which means max is 4. And then from there, we find the minimum, which means the lowest value on the graph. So min is now going to be the midline minus the amplitude. So you get min equals 0 minus 4, so the minimum is going to be -4. All right. So now we can start graphing. I want to start off by changing these intervals to 2 pi per step, just because our cycle is going to take 8 pi, and so we just need to adjust that for our graph. Now, the intervals along the side are going to be 1. So we can do that as so. And then we'll start graphing. So the pattern for a cosine function is maximum, 0, minimum, 0, and then another maximum. We'll start off with our first max, which is 4 on 0, and we can finish off at 8 pi, which will be the end of our cycle, also at 4. Then we'll put our halfway in between those is 4 pi. So then we've put our minimum, which is -4. And then halfway in between the max and the minimum will be our first 0 at 2 pi. And then halfway between the minimum and the max is our second 0 at 6 pi. From there, you can draw your curve like so. And that's it. You did your first cycle of the function. I'll I'll just highlight it so that it can stand out. And there you have it, the graph of 4 cosine 1/4 x. All right, thanks, bye.